We're going to go ahead and get going. My name is Kimberly Adams. Welcome to the National Press Club. We are so happy to have you here. I am the Senior Washington Correspondent for the Public Radio Business and Economy Program Marketplace, and I also co-host our podcast, Make Me Smart. I hope you'll listen. I also am so proud to be a former chairperson of the National Press Club Board of Governors. And that gives me particular honor to be here tonight as your host to welcome our new 117th president of the National Press Club, Emily Wilkins. Who is just looking fabulous tonight. Can we all agree? I know many of you, like me, look forward to this evening at the start of every new year. Tonight is a celebration. We celebrate the National Press Club. It's an institution that is a staunch advocate for journalists all around the world. And we're going to celebrate our new leader and her commitment to this community and to journalism. So please enjoy your food as we get started with our program. I promise you it will be delicious. So as you all start to dig in, I'd like to acknowledge the sponsors of tonight's event who showed up in a big way this year. Yes, be particularly quiet for the sponsors. It's very important. Our platinum sponsor, CNBC. Our gold level sponsor, Bloomberg. Where are the Bloomberg folks at? There they are. Our silver sponsors include General Dynamics, Duplain Enterprises, Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office in the United States, and the Wounded Paws Project. Our bronze level sponsor is Defense News. And our Friends of Emily sponsors, Global Situation Room, L3 Harris, Mark Global Communications, Michigan State University. Give y'all a little extra time. Responsibility.org, Robert Wiener Associates, and Eileen and Carrie O'Reilly. A big thank you to each of these organizations and individuals for supporting the National Press Club, for supporting Emily, and for supporting responsible journalism. One more round of applause for them. The National Press Club is governed by a dedicated group of volunteers who give their time and expertise. So please, let's acknowledge this wonderful group. Please stand when you hear your name. Our officers include Vice President Mike Balsamo. Where's Mike? There he is. Our treasurer, Elisa Parenti. Over there. Secretary Poonam Sharma. And our membership secretary, Mark Sheff Jr. And our governors, Herb Jackson, Elvina Nawaguna, Tara Kopp, and Mike Smith. Let's please give these individuals another round of applause for the hard work and so much time and energy they give to the National Press Club. Having had the privilege to work with a lot of these folks, I can tell you they are amazing and they do work so, so hard to make the club what it is. So now let's introduce the past presidents of the National Press Club who are in attendance tonight. Please stand when you hear your name. We have a lot of y'all here tonight. Going back to 1978, Frank Okafor. Where are you, Frank? I think he's over there. Okay. 1992, Greg Spears. 1994, Gil Klein. 1998, Doug Harbrecht. 2003, Tammy Lytle. 2005, Rick Dunham. 2006, Jonathan Salant, who I may add is always such a hero when it comes to helping us with the Press Club Board elections every year. 2009, Donna Leinwan Legere. 2011, Mark Hamrick, who recruited me to the National Press Club. 2013, Angela Greiling-Keene. 2014, Myron Belkind. 2015, John Hughes. 2017, Jeff Ballou. 2018, Andrea Edney. 2019, Allison Fitzgerald Kojak. 2021, Lisa Matthews. 2022, Jen Judson. And 2023, Eileen O'Reilly. Also looking fabulous in her green tonight. And to the staff who worked so hard to make this event extra special for Emily and for all of us in attendance, thank you so much. Our AV team, our banquet staff, the fantastic culinary team led by Executive Chef Mo Aguilera, our entire membership team led by Director Kate Helster, who's been running around like mad today, the Director of Clubhouse Operations, Miguel Dominguez, and of course, our Executive Director, Didier Soji. Round of applause for all of them. Now, before we go any further, I want to show everyone a letter that arrived here at the National Press Club today. Let's get that up on the screen. It has a rather prestigious address, if I may say so myself. This letter from the White House reads, "Dear Miss Wilkins, congratulations on your election as the 117th President of the National Press Club. By narrating the triumphs and tragedies that have shaped our country, journalists like you are doing so much more than informing and educating the public. You are protecting the truth, lifting voices that often go unheard, and ensuring our government remains transparent and trustworthy. At a time when truth is increasingly under attack, our need for accurate, fact-based reporting, open public conversation, and accountability has never been greater. Your years of award-winning reporting on everything from congressional leadership, education, labor, to the regulatory policies that shape our nation have ably prepared you for this role. The work you and your fellow club members do is fundamental to a free society, and I look forward to seeing how you will use your experience and expertise to advance the organization's vital mission in the coming year. Congratulations again on this accomplishment, and I send my best wishes for a productive tenure. Keep the faith, Joe Biden. And with that, let me take a moment to tell you a bit about how Emily got here. Now, Emily told me that she first got into reporting when she was 15. She beat me by 1 year. But we may have found some proof that she started well before then. Clearly, she caught the bug pretty young. Emily was born and raised in Farmington Hills, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit, and clearly, as we can all see, she was very eager to report. Through her local newspaper, the Farmington Observer, and her high school's newspaper, Newsprint, Emily was off and running by her senior year at Mercy High School. It was then that Emily started thinking about college. And I think by the amount of Spartan green that you see in the room, you can guess where this is going. How many Spartans do we have in the room? As a senior in high school, she applied to Michigan State University's student newspaper, The State News. Now, if you know anything about the State News and Michigan State's journalism program, you will know that these are very competitive programs. And Emily's mom drove her to East Lansing so that she could interview for an intern position, which, of course, she got. Excuse me, do y'all mind in the corner? Thank you. Emily's mom drove to East Lansing so that she could interview for that intern position, which of course Emily achieved. She worked at the State News every semester while she was on campus, working her way from reporter all the way up to managing editor. Like most college students, Emily did some internships, but unlike most college students, Emily had 6 internships. 6. That's not normal, just FYI. The Colorado Springs Gazette, Hearst DC Bureau, Scripps Howard, the Columbus Dispatch, the Dallas Morning News DC Bureau, the Cambodia Daily in Phnom Penh. She also spent a semester as a USA Today collegiate correspondent and participated in the 2012 New York Times Student Journalism Institute. It is clear that she had a passion for reporting and accomplished so much even before she graduated from Michigan State with her degrees in journalism and political science. Now, speaking of Michigan State, we had a few Spartans that couldn't be here tonight, but still wanted to share a few words. Let's have a look.
On a seemingly quiet winter evening on the Michigan State campus, we are celebrating. Where the Big Ten does things, well, big. Where Spartan Nation is your cheerleader.
Emily Wilkins from our big stage to yours. Congratulations on becoming the president of the National Press Club.
This is the stage you came from, Emily. Remember it? Where the most coveted college mascot sends congratulations. And then gets back to the job tonight. Where thousands of students read the newspaper. while the visiting team is introduced. And where journalism students have you on their minds.
Congratulations, Emily Wilkins!
And just across campus where you spent all your time, it's the State News.
I'm Chris Richard. I'm the general manager of the State News. This was the place where you spent a lot of your time, and I wanted to say congratulations on this amazing achievement.
I just want to say congratulations, Emily. I'm pretty sure that you got to be where you are right now because of the State News, and I just wish the best for you.
Congratulations, Emily Wilkins. Do you recognize this place? I sure hope you do. I heard you spent a lot of time here when you were here. Well, I got to get back to the print edition because it's a lot of work, as of course you know, but congratulations.
The current staff may be working on the latest edition, but they can still feel your stories. Literally, just past their desks.
I'm Tim Voss, the director of the School of Journalism at Michigan State University. Emily, we're really pleased that you're using your term as president of the Press Club to advocate for press freedom and the safety of journalists.
I'm Jeremy Steele, Executive Director of the Michigan Interscholastic Press Association and Associate Director of the School of Journalism at Michigan State University. On behalf of Spartans and MIPA kids everywhere, congratulations, Emily, on your ascension to National Press Club President. Who knew that you could turn an honorable mention personality profile award as a high school journalist into such a high office? Well, I think we knew it. And MIPA kids and Spartans everywhere knew it. And again, congratulations. You are an example for Spartans and for student journalists everywhere of what you can do with your future.
Hi, I'm L.A. Dickerson. I've been at the J School for 25 years, full-time faculty member. Congratulations, Emily. It does not surprise me at all. You were always one of those people who made us glad that we came here to teach. My favorite thing about you is the way that you always helped other people. You mentored so many dozens of students that I knew, and I'm not surprised at all the good things that have come your way because you deserve it. So congratulations, you've been very missed.
Back to the game.
Now, excuse us, we have to go beat Michigan.
We hope, Emily, that the fight song will rattle around in the corners of your mind tonight on your big night. Congratulations from Michigan State University, the Journalism School, and the State News. And remember, Emily, there's no place like, well, you can read the rest of the headline.
So we just learned a little bit about where Emily apparently spent a lot of her time while in college. But Emily's first gig out of school was as a local government reporter at the Bryan College Station Eagle in Bryan, Texas. As she covered, we have someone from Texas, I'm sure. As she covered 2 city councils and the county's government, Emily was able to observe and grow to develop a deep respect for the extraordinarily important work of local journalists. And a round of applause for local journalists, because they don't get enough love. In 2015, Emily left the Midwest for DC when she was hired as an immigration reporter with CQ Roll Call and a few other roles there over the next few years. She joined Bloomberg Government in 2017. By 2019 was covering Congress at large, and a few years later was covering the House, appearing on Bloomberg TV, radio, serving as a backup host for Bloomberg Radio's Sound On, and the list goes on. Last June, Emily left Bloomberg for CNBC. And at CNBC, Emily covers the Capitol as their Washington correspondent. I should also mention that somehow, and I truly do not understand this, Emily has also managed to find time to run 2 marathons, and has been practicing the martial art of Aikido for the last 8 years. Just a small side note, I really thought I was doing something last year when I decided to walk the 2 miles home from my office. And as I was walking, I see zooming by on a bicycle, Emily, in full TV makeup like it was nothing. And I was just like, I give up. I just give up. Don't give up. I'll try not to. I was lucky enough to spend several years working with Emily on the Board of Governors, and I can tell you firsthand that her dedication to the club shows up in so many ways. Her efforts to recruit more young and diverse members of the club, the time she personally takes to make those new members feel welcome and make sure that they stay members of the club. And she also did so much work helping to revamp our social media presence and our website. And there are just dozens of ways that the work of Emily Wilkins shows up in parts of the press club that most folks will just never know. But if it's a good thing happening at the club, you can probably guess that Emily had some kind of role in it. So with all of that, we are going to take a break now so that you can continue to enjoy this fabulous meal, and we are going to be back with you in just a little while. Hi there, is everybody enjoying their meal? Is everyone enjoying their meal? Great, I got everyone's attention a little bit, so what I will ask is, I know everybody's still eating, but please, if you don't mind keeping your conversations down while we get to the rest of our program, I'm sure everyone would really appreciate it. We want to make sure we keep this night special for Emily, and that means we want to be able to hear everything. So let's move on with the program. So, a few of Emily's friends and colleagues were not able to be with us to celebrate in person tonight, so we do have a little video of them, and let's roll that tape.
I'm Angela Greiling-Keene, a friend and fan of Emily for more than a decade, and one of her editors during her time at Bloomberg Government, where I'm the news director. I'm also the president of Journalism and Women's Symposium, JAWS, where we're proud to have Emily as a member there too. I met Emily when she was an intern in the Houston Chronicle's Washington Bureau, and I was the incoming president of the press club. I meet a lot of interns, and most of them pass unremembered, but I remember the moment I met Emily. It was in the lobby of the press building when her boss, former press club president Rick Dunham, introduced us. The fact that I remember the moment I met her 12 years ago is an indication that Emily is someone who stands out. As she becomes our new press club president, that fact is still true, and I know she's going to have a great year. She's also someone with boundless energy, as illustrated by the fact that when she worked with me at Bloomberg Government, she casually mentioned that she was running a marathon one coming weekend. I was like, a marathon? When in the world did she have time to train for a marathon amid a demanding reporting beat, frequent early morning TV hits, and a press club leadership role? But she did. That ability to fit it all in will serve her and the press club's mission well this year. Congratulations and best wishes, Emily.
Hey, it's Joe Matthew at Bloomberg TV and Radio, where I used to work with the great Emily Wilkins. We used to share cameras and microphones here at Bloomberg to tell a global audience about the madness that was happening here in Washington. Not always an easy job, but Emily did it with grace. You know she is a great broadcaster. You see her every day on TV, but you should also know that she is one of the most well-sourced and well-intended journalists in Washington. She's also a great and wonderful friend. The National Press Club is in great hands. Emily Wilkins, congratulations. I'll meet you for taco night soon.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ian Colgren, and I am so excited to be here welcoming my friend Emily Wilkins to be the next president of the National Press Club. Emily and I met about 13 years ago when we were both college students on the student newspaper. And to say Emily was incredible back then would be an understatement. By the time she was a sophomore, I believe, she had solved a cold case and changed a state law related to that cold case, which is, of course, something we all do by the time we're 20 years old, right? But more than that, Emily, from day one, demonstrated a great propensity for leadership, and even more than that, mentorship. She was my all-knowing sophomore from the start and still is today. She opened so many gates. She showed me the way in so many different respects of this industry and in life. And she, although she is somebody who is extremely ambitious, I think the more important thing is she's always somebody who's looking to help other people. She will be the first person to kick open a door and reach her hand back through to pull somebody through. She did it to me. I've seen her do it for so many other people. And that, more than any other reason, is why I know Emily is going to be a great, truly great president of the National Press Club and be somebody who will leave this club in a better place by the end of her tenure. I'm so proud of you, Emily, and I am so happy to be here tonight to celebrate with you and John.
Hi, this is Omar Safradzias. I want to congratulate the National Press Club membership for electing Emily Wilkins as their next president. I think you'll find she has a tremendous commitment to journalism and journalists alike. Case in point, her first day at Michigan State University was her third day at the State News, the student-run newspaper at MSU, where I served as newsroom advisor during Emily's tenure. And that was just the start of Emily's commitment to curiosity and acting upon it. She worked at the State News her entire time at Michigan State, while doing something like 7 internships. I mean, it had to be a record. It just seemed she was always doing another internship because she always felt there was something more to learn, something new to ask, something new to discover. And she's taken that trait from college and throughout her professional career, always looking to ask, what else do I need to know? What else can I find out? What else is changing and what's around the corner? I think you'll find her to be supportive, approachable, human, caring, and just a decent human being. I hope you get to spend some time with her and get to know her like I've known her through the years. And again, congratulations and good luck.
Happy inaugural and congratulations, Emily. I can't imagine a more deserving recipient of this amazing honor.
Hey, Emily. We just want to say congratulations on becoming Press Club president.
We're so excited for you. We can't wait to see what you do, and we feel like they're really fortunate to have you. So congratulations.
Yeah, we're so proud of you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rick Dunham, former president of the National Press Club and the co-director of the Global Business Journalism program at Tsinghua University. I'm delighted to be joining you to celebrate the inauguration of Emily Wilkins as president of the National Press Club. I had the pleasure and the honor of being Emily's boss at Houston Chronicle and Hearst newspapers. She was my intern when I was the bureau chief for Houston Chronicle and Hearst. She's one of the best interns I ever supervised, and I knew she was going to be a journalism superstar. During her internship, she was a key player in our peri-presidential website, covering the Texas governor's disastrous 2012 presidential campaign. Let's just say that Emily's coverage of Rick Perry's presidential campaign was a lot better than the governor's campaign. Emily's work was so good that I asked her to return for an encore internship during the 2012 Democratic Convention in Charlotte. Since those days, I've never been surprised by Emily's amazing journalism accomplishments. My most important contribution to this evening may have been introducing Emily to the National Press Club. As a bureau chief, I bought all of my interns' student memberships and tacos. Emily used the membership for a lot more than dinner. She used it as a launching pad for a distinguished journalism career. I could not be more proud of her. One story about Emily's organizational skills. In 2014, she organized an intern reunion in Beijing. She somehow managed to get 4 interns together, along with her former bureau chief, me, and the Houston Chronicle political editor. Today, I think back and say, how many newspapers even have 4 interns, a Washington bureau chief, and a political editor? But Emily brought us all together, and we hiked the Great Wall together. That just shows her organizational skills and her ability to bring people together from all over the world. Well, Emily will be one of the great National Press Club presidents. She has brains, she has energy, she has leadership skills, she has team building abilities, she has passion, she has vision. Congratulations to Emily. Enjoy the evening, everyone, and have a great 2024. Thanks very much.
Emily Wilkins. What can we say about Emily Wilkins? Well, let me give it a chance. Let me give it a try. My name's Derek Wallbank. I'm a former board chairman of the National Press Club, and I wish I could be with you right now. As you can tell, I'm not. I'm in a TV studio here in Singapore at Bloomberg's offices here. I'm a managing editor over here now. But I have something to say about Emily Wilkins, and that's because I've known her a really long time at this point. Emily and I have known each other since she was a junior in college, when I reached back to Michigan State and I said, I wonder if you have any promising students I could meet, I could maybe help out with during their career. They said, have you met Emily? And it's one of the greatest introductions I've ever had. I've been blessed to have Emily be a part of my life, be a part of my family's life, be a part of my professional life now for years. I don't want to date her. I don't want to date myself either, candidly. But I had a lot more hair when we first had those conversations, I'll tell you. One of the things I've seen about Emily, I've seen this when she was working in Cambodia, I've seen this when she started working on Washington, to now, when she is a voice of what's going on in the halls of power to people with the money and influence to do something about it on CNBC, to where she's interviewing the great and the good and the powerful about all of these big decisions that they're going to be making, but have also seen from Emily in quiet rooms talking about weighty, consequential issues. I think she's the person for this moment that we're in. Emily understands the critical role of the National Press Club to not just be a place of gathering, but to be a ladder for people on their career, but also critically in this moment to be a safety net. We've seen it when she's calling in one of her first acts as president for attention towards detained journalists. Emily's a right person to be a voice here. And goodness, the first person that she brought into the National Press Club as president, Captain America. Come on, we're off to a good start already. Look, I wish I could offer you a toast right now for Emily. I wish I could be there and have a Grand Floridian in her honor. I'll be doing that over here in my own way, at my own time as we're doing this. Maybe not right now. It's like 9 a.m. in Singapore. We'll give it till my evening at least. But I wanted to take this opportunity, Emily, to wish you absolutely all the best, and my friends at the National Press Club to wish you all the best. You've got somebody with a Spartan will. You've got somebody with Detroit, Michigan grit. You've got somebody who's ready for this moment right now. And I could not be prouder. I could not be prouder. Hamilton says, pride is not the word I'm looking for. It's so much more. Whatever that so much more is, I'm all of that to see Emily Wilkins take the gavel to be president of the National Press Club. Cometh the moment, cometh the person. And here's Emily. And aren't we all lucky for her being in that situation right now? God bless. I hope you have a great evening. And I can't wait to celebrate with you in person.
My name's Kyle Campbell. Emily and I worked together at our college newspaper, the State News, for 3 years. We also struggled through Chinese 101 together our freshman year, but that's a story for a different time. Emily, you've always been a force of nature as a reporter, with that right mix of gumption to go out and get the big story and humanity to tell it as it needs to be told. You're also a consummate advocate for journalism, ever ready to extend a helping hand to the next generation. And despite all of your accolades and accomplishments, you've remained incredibly humble. Emily, I'm proud to have been able to call you a colleague, and I'm even prouder to be able to call you a friend. The National Press Club is lucky to have you as its president, and I know you'll do great things. Congratulations.
Hey, Emily, congratulations. For those watching who don't know me, my name is Jacob Kanzler. I'm from Michigan, and I got to know Emily when we were both interns with the Columbus Dispatch in Columbus, Ohio, a little more than 10 years ago, fresh out of college. And as the group of interns, we called ourselves the Winterns. And I don't know if Emily came up with that, but what she did come up with was our theme song, which was sung to the tune of the Flintstones, as in, wind turns, meet the wind turns. So there you go. There's a little bit of Emily's quirky humor that I've always enjoyed. And but more importantly, Emily, I am so proud of you. I am so happy that you have this opportunity to serve. And, you know, throughout your career, you've been excellent and you've striven for excellence, and you're always using journalism for good. And so I think this role is going to be perfect for you as president of the National Press Club. So super excited for you. And again, super proud and honestly not surprised at all. So yeah, congrats, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Congratulations, Emily. We're proud of you. We love you. We love you.
You are well loved, Miss Wilkins. Now, let's bring up in person some of the folks who know Emily the best. So first, let me welcome to the stage John Sanders. John is a vice president at Blackstone and one of the newest spousal members at the National Press Club. Now, you may be wondering why we are putting one of our newest members on the spot here tonight. Well, as it turns out, John is lucky enough to be celebrating his marriage to Emily right here in this very ballroom on May 11th. Congratulations to you both, and we're hoping that John can dish out all the details. Welcome up, John.
Wow. A captive audience. You know, years ago, Dad told me something about this. That one day I'd stand in front of a room and have to talk to people in front of whom I had no qualifications to stand. I had no idea that he was talking about standing in front of Emily in the living room. I don't think I'm alone in feeling somewhat in awe of the person with whom I'm spending the rest of my life. And the reception I received from the National Press Club is a reflection of how wonderful Emily Wilkins is and how greatly its members value her judgment. When I think of the news, and I promise this is, well, maybe a tangent, I think of a lot of things. I think of the cold, snowy days when, though everything else was canceled, the newspaper was still at the front door. I think of how that newsprint was everything. A window to the humor and tragedy of the outside world when fresh, and when no longer current, a way to light a fire or wrap valuables. And all of this for only a quarter. That newspaper on a February morning embodies the ideals of excellent journalism. An ambition to be there first and to arise before the daybreak in that pursuit. the courage to rise to the task when the rest of the world had shut down, the goal of transparently showing humanity in 3 dimensions, including its horrors, its triumphs, and its funny bits. To be a fire starter at times, and at all times to be an entity with which you would hand over your most precious faculty, your trust. And I think about how then, as now, this work often seems to go undervalued. I stand here in front of a lot of people who embody these ideals, but when Emily wakes up 3 hours before the dawn and well before her first cup of coffee to deliver the news, stays late at the Capitol for several weeks straight, or fits in a weekend call to discuss one of the press club's many great initiatives for press freedom, I see these ideals up front. Honest, hardworking, ambitious, serious, but not without a keen sense of comedy. There are many people I'd like to thank, but in particular I'd like to thank Kerry O'Reilly, specifically because he made this lovely sash. In all seriousness, thank you all, and I'm sure I'll see you around.
Gotta love the first gentleman sash. Thank you so much, John. And now I'd like to introduce Dan Colarusso. Dan is Senior Vice President of CNBC Business News. He is responsible for overseeing television news content, coverage, and production for the network's Business Day programming and the News with Shepard Smith. Dan has spent many years in the journalism industry with positions at news organizations like the New York Post, Bloomberg, and Reuters. Dan, welcome to the National Press Club.
They didn't tell me I was going to be following the only person in this room who loves Emily more than we do at CNBC. So that's a little bit jarring. First off, before I gush about Emily, which I promise I will do in size, as they say on Wall Street, I do want to say how happy I am we are to be involved with this event, to be part of the National Press Club celebration of both Emily and press freedom and all the virtues that go with press. You know, you threw that taco night last week, which we all read about, and it was so important in a business that's challenged both existentially and financially in so many ways. And it's really important that we band together and we support each other through these times. It's what we have as the vocation, right? Now at CNBC, we don't go to war zones very often. I always joke that a war zone for me is a cold appetizer. We don't go to war zones. We don't go to natural disasters. We don't risk our lives the way some journalists do. But our mission is integral to America. It's to explain the world of money to people who need to know, and it's to hold government agencies and government officials accountable. And that's super important, and I think our Washington Bureau overall and Emily embody that for us. So I just want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this tonight. Now I can gush about Emily. This is also intimidating for another reason. Within 40 seconds, would you say, of Emily's first interview with us, she told us she was a forensics champion. I had to Google what forensics was. It turns out it's like debate, but a bigger word. And she clearly knew how to make an argument and knew how to persuade, to make her case for things. And that was after I had been seeing her for 2 years. You know, when you're in television, you have a wall of TVs in front of you. You're watching the competition. And every day I would look up and see her on the competition, and I'd be like, why isn't she working for us? No, we didn't ask her. Funny how that happens. So we finally got around to asking her, and during a very fancy dinner in Washington, the head of talent development and myself talked to Emily, and then Emily left, and I think she said she was going to ride a bike home, or that she rode a bike. And I said to my colleague, if she gets hit by a car, I'm going to kill her, because we hadn't gotten to make her the offer yet. So I will tell you that Emily has been everything we bargained for. She's been a great journalist, a tenacious reporter, a great colleague, and to know, like we do now, that she is a relentless advocate for the press, for our business, and for the calling is truly rewarding. So I am profoundly happy she's one of us. I am pretty happy to share her with you for a year, but make sure you give her back. Thank you very much.
You know, I should mention, having watched and been thoroughly impressed by many former presidents of the National Press Club, it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and it is a real commitment by the companies that our journalists come from to allow people to do this, and it is a testament that CNBC is supporting press freedom. So another round of applause for you all. So thank you so much, Dan. And now, without further ado, I would love to introduce our special guest this evening, who is going to do the honors of administering the oath of office. Susan Goldberg is the president and CEO of GBH, the largest producer of multi-platform content for PBS, and also a partner to NPR and PRX. Previously, she was an editor-in-chief and the editorial director of National Geographic, where she led the magazine to 11 National Magazine Awards, among other honors, over the course of 8 years. She was executive editor of the Cleveland, Plain Dealer, but formerly Cleveland Plain Dealer, and the San Jose Mercury News, and has held editorial positions at Bloomberg News, USA Today, and the Detroit Free Press. She was among the leaders of reporting, honored with the 1990 Pulitzer Prize for General News Reporting at the Mercury News, and has led work that was a finalist for the Pulitzer 7 other times. A 6-time juror for the Pulitzer Prize, Goldberg is president of the National Museum of Women in the Arts and a board member of the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. Susan was a natural first choice for this role tonight. Like Emily, she's a Michigan native, and like Emily, she has a bachelor's degree in journalism from Michigan State University. I guess I should say go Spartans. And she now funds the Susan Goldberg Scholarship at the University School of Journalism. So please give Susan a warm Spartan welcome, which feels oxymoronic to me, but okay. A warm Spartan welcome to our guest of honor this evening, Susan Goldberg.
Thank you so much, and I feel like I should be wearing the green dress, so I really kind of screwed this up. But I'd like to talk a lot about Emily, because when Emily was in high school in the Detroit suburb of Farmington Hills, she had decided that she wanted to become an actress and to go to college in Los Angeles and to make it big on the stage and screen. But she made the mistake of telling her father about this dream. And he said, as any sensible parent would, no, Emily, you need to find a more stable career choice. So she became a journalist. And while I'm entirely sure that every person in this room applauds Emily's decision and believes what we do as journalists helps people make informed decisions that underpin our democracy, you are not likely to find journalist when you Google stable career choice. I did actually try that, and I found substance abuse counselor, which is actually the subject of a different speech for a different audience on a different day. But back to journalism, and indeed we are gathered here at a particularly challenging time for journalism, and of course this is related for our country. Since 2005, a quarter of the nation's newspapers have closed, and we're on our way to having a third of them be closed by next year, leaving some 70 million Americans in news deserts. We've seen layoffs across the industry, regardless of platform. Strikes, massive budget cuts, leadership instability, there's industry upheaval over AI with its deep fakes and potential for appalling bias. Rampant mis and disinformation spreads like wildfire across the internet and social platforms. And actually, perhaps worst of all, is the existential crisis of trust, or more precisely, the lack of trust that so many people, especially conservatives, have about legitimate and credible sources of news and information. The result of all this, says my friend Evan Smith, is that we live in two Americas, one informed and one not. And it's in the non-informed America that misinformation and conspiracy theories have truly taken root. This is how we got to a moment where truth isn't truth, facts aren't facts, and reality is a subjective construct. And this is the stuff that keeps me up at night, and probably you too. But while this dispiriting reality is the one we have to deal with and to fight against, we're here today to remind ourselves, and ultimately the public that we serve, that the work that we do, the work of journalism, is part of the cure to these ills. My unwavering belief is that journalism helps our readers, viewers, listeners, everyone, people of every age and on every platform, understand the critical facts and nuances that shape our planet, whether we're talking about politics, science, health, technology, conflict, history, or what's happening down the block. At its core, giving people context and perspective through the stories we tell makes our communities and the world a better place. And this is true whether we work for for-profit journalism institutions like Emily, or a nonprofit public media institution like me. In just a few moments, Emily Wilkins will become the Press Club's 117th president, taking on this messy stew of challenges and opportunities. Now, although I've never worked with Emily in the same newsroom, and more than 30 years divide us, she's younger, I will tell you that I feel an amazing connection with her because she and I have so much in common. To start with, we're both Michiganders, both Spartans graduating from Michigan State with a bachelor's degree in journalism. Now, Emily sums up her college career this way, and I am quoting, "Every semester I was on campus, I was at the State News. Technically, I went to Michigan State University, but really, I worked at the State News and took classes on the side." Well, me too. Emily says, and I'm quoting again, "I don't think I would have gotten to where I am today if it wasn't for the State News." Me either. But the similarities don't end there. Neither of us graduated on time because we both went to work as full-time journalists. Now, I must admit that Emily's pre-graduation adventure was far more adventurous than mine. She went to Phnom Penh, I went to Seattle. But we both became journalists because we're endlessly curious, fascinated by the world, and sought horizons far beyond the familiar landscapes of the Midwest where we grew up. We both believe in shining a light into dark corners so the bad things can be exposed and the good things can be emulated. And we both believe deeply in the power of stories to make a difference, to help people. Emily, like me, started her career covering local news. She liked talking to regular folks and telling their stories. And when she moved on to cover Congress, she was thankful that because of her role, she got to walk right up to powerful people, ask them a lot of questions, hold them accountable, and explain what was going on at the highest levels of government to those regular folks that she used to cover. These are the values that she holds dear, that all of us who are journalists hold dear. These are the values that as we enter another divisive and consequential election year, we need to lean into, to do every single thing that we can to earn or earn back the public's trust. This is what Emily does as an individual correspondent, and this is what the National Press Club does as a venerable institution. When Emily first came to the Press Club, she told me she wasn't sure she belonged here, whether she could feel included. But then, she said, she met Angela Greiling-Keane, the press club's 106th president, and she began to think that there was a place for her here after all. And she was right. Although women still remain in the decided minority when it comes to running journalistic organizations, that isn't true at the press club. Emily will... Emily will be the 4th woman in a row who is president. Now, as your next press club president, Emily will focus on keeping journalism and journalists safe. She wants to strengthen press freedom efforts and to help journalists imprisoned overseas like Evan Gershkovich and Austin Tice and hundreds more locked up just for doing their jobs. Emily also wants to continue to deepen membership in this institution because she believes, as I do, that we all are stronger when we work together, and that there is much work that we must do and can do to illuminate journalism's value proposition, to protect the freedom of information, to protect freedom of speech, and the freedom of the press. So the press club is in really good hands. Congratulations, Emily, and good luck. And now, I would like to ask Emily to come to the stage so she can take her official oath of office.
I think you are doing the honors of holding the book.
Are you going to manage this? Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I got.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, she is going to swear on this book. Now, Emily, repeat after me. I, Emily Wilkins,
I, Emily Wilkins,
promise to serve faithfully
promise to serve faithfully
as president of the National Press Club
as president of the National Press Club
and to execute all of the duties of the presidency.
and to execute all of the duties of the presidency.
I promise to work vigorously to strengthen the National Press Club
I promise to work vigorously to strengthen the National Press Club
for the benefit of our members,
for the benefit of our members,
and I pledge to fight vigorously
and I pledge to fight vigorously
on behalf of freedom of information
on behalf of freedom of information
and freedom of the press
and freedom of the press
and for the protection of journalists everywhere.
and for the protection of journalists everywhere.
Congratulations, Emily.
Emily, please stay here. I'm so happy for you. Okay, so before we all get super emotional, Emily, you got us to hang out here for a minute. But first of all, I would really love another round of applause for Susan Goldberg. Thank you for that. And I would like you all, most of you are standing already, but if you could please continue to stand and raise a glass to the amazing Emily Wilkins, the 117th president of the National Press Club. Cheers, Emily.
Go white!
Oh, goodness.
Do this all night.
But I skipped a bit. So I now want to welcome to the podium the immediate past president of the National Press Club, Eileen O'Reilly, who was supposed to give the toast, but I got too excited. So that means we're going to have two. That means we're going to have two. You can never have too many toasts, so, okay. All right. This is the fun part. What is it? Oh, you can go ahead and sit if you want.
Yeah, good.
Sorry. Now, everything I've heard tonight wasn't really a surprise to me because I've been working with Emily for 5 or 6 years at the club and already knew she was a go-getter, extremely smart and compassionate, and just vibrating with energy and great ideas on improving the club for its members and also the whole world for journalism in general. So, I mean, just look at what she's already done in like 2 weeks. I mean, she issued several press freedom statements, which were really important, had a taco night for journalists recently laid off, and had a headliners event with Chris Evans, with Captain America, who may actually be one of the good guys for real with his philanthropy. So anyway, it's been an honor to work with you, Emily, and I'd like to raise a glass. No, wait. I'd like to have all the past presidents stand up to raise a glass. And actually, all the board members, current board members working with her, stand up too. All right, never mind. All of you guys, just stand up here. And come on, let's all stand up and raise a glass. To Emily Wilkins, our 117th president. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Okay, now it's actually my turn. So thank you so much, Eileen, who has really done just an amazing job in her year as president. So another round of applause for Eileen. Again, the amount of time and effort and energy it takes to be a president of the National Press Club really should not be underestimated. And so many of our presidents do this job while continuing to be amazing journalists. And so it's really a testament to the quality of their work and their dedication to our profession. And I really appreciate and respect that so much. And so now let's hear from your 117th National Press Club president, Emily Wilkins.
Oh my gosh, wow, just wow. Thank you all so much. I know it was touched on, but honestly, the first time I came to the National Press Club, I was just in awe. I was hopeful that maybe one day, if I got really, really lucky, I could be a member. The fact that I'm standing behind this podium tonight as the 117th president is just an absolute surreal honor. Thank you to so many in the room for your friendship, for your mentorship, for your advice, for always being there, and for trusting me in this role. It again is just an immense honor, and thank you all so, so much. Woo! Okay, so the good news is that I'm the last thing between us and the after party. The bad news is I do have a lot of people to thank, so we'll try and go quick. Right at the top of the list, of course, can we all just take a minute to appreciate the fantastic job that Kimberly Adams did this evening? Kimberly, you are career goals, you are life goals, you are run an efficient meeting goals, you are host an amazing party goals, and clearly you are MC goals. Thank you so much for this evening. A huge thank you also to everyone who spoke tonight. Everyone who did a video, just absolutely amazing. And to John, and to Dan, and to Susan, thank you guys so much for your deeply heartfelt sentiments, your very thoughtful words. Thank you to everyone in the inaugural committee who helped make this event happen: Jed Judson, Lisa Matthews, Mike Smith, and Elisa Parenti. And of course, Eileen, huge congratulations on your amazing year as president. You moved the ball forward. Yeah, go ahead, give it up. You moved the ball forward on diversity, making sure that everyone felt welcome at the press club and advancing press freedom. I also want to thank my family, my parents who believed and supported me all the way along my journey. My mom's tearing up too. They might not have been thrilled when I moved to Cambodia, but they were supportive. Neither of my parents are journalists, but my mom, Roberta, absolutely could have been. She is the queen of asking questions. I don't know if you got to speak with her tonight, but that's what she does. She, like, in the most polite Midwestern way, like, finds out everything about you. This was actually something that was quite annoying when I was a kid and trying to get away with anything. My dad, Mark, is an engineer, so it's a very different skill set that we have. But he was the one who really taught me the power of news and the power of information growing up. He always had NPR on, and he was always asking me for my feedback on the news, what I thought about current events, and I just have my dad, as Susan recapped, to really thank for making that final push to steer me clear of acting and into the journalism profession. I appreciate that. My sister Caitlin and my brother Andrew are also here. They say that you need thick skin to be a reporter, and growing up with those two has made dealing with angry sources a piece of cake. But seriously, Caitlin, Andrew, and of course Andrew's fiance, Alon, you guys have always been here for me and supported me. You both are really tough competition for the favorite child of this family, and I love you. Only until you get another dog, then I'm back at the bottom. John, I am so grateful for you. You are so patient and so caring and so supportive. I love you, and I cannot wait to call you my husband in 92 days and celebrate right here at the club. I also absolutely have to thank the National Press Club staff, our executive director, Didier Saji, our membership director, Kate Helster, and the entire membership team. Thank you for answering my countless emails and texts, for being both the brains and the brawn behind this event and many others. The club is extremely fortunate to have all of you. And to all the staff who make this happen, you are the backbone of this club. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I also have to thank CNBC, Dan, and the entire DC Bureau. I know it's only been 7 months, but that whole speaker getting ousted thing felt like it lasted a year. To Karen, my producer, I'm so lucky and so grateful to be on a team with you every day. And Matt and MC, thank you guys for always being supportive with my many questions and emails and texts. And of course, a huge thanks to NBC as well for their encouragement and to welcoming me into the Peacock family. I also, of course, have to thank the board this year. We really have some fantastic folks on it. I'm not going to make you stand up again, but I appreciate each of you very deeply. And one last thing, we did call out all of the presidents, past presidents who are here tonight. There is one name that didn't get called, but I know that he wanted to be here. Mike Friedman was president of the National Press Club in 2020. He was a mentor and a friend to so many, including myself. Mike was diagnosed with cancer, and in one of our last conversations, we were actually talking about the strategic plan for the club the next 5 years. Of course, Mike, as always, was saying anything you need, anything I can do to help, even while he was battling cancer. At the very end, I told him that, I was thinking of him and his family, and he said, Emily, he's like, I'm fighting to get better. He's like, and I can't wait to be at your inaugural. And I know that Mike is here tonight, because he was the president again in 2020, and you know what that means. Mike had to make a lot of really hard choices. He had to make a lot of really difficult leadership decisions, but because of the groundwork that he laid, the National Press Club is back to our post-pandemic status, and we are looking forward to continuing to go forward as a strong club. I'm very excited to be the club's leader for the next year, but 2024 so far is shaping up to be one of the most difficult years for journalists. Since January 1st, more than 500 reporters in digital, broadcast, and print media have lost their jobs. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich hit 300 days of wrongful detention in Russia, and Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty's Alsu Kurmasheva marked 100 days of wrongful detention in Russia. The Israel-Hamas war continues to claim the lives of working journalists on both sides, and there is reason to believe that some of the strikes have been targeted. And here in the US, we're facing an election where disinformation is set to pose a major threat to democracy. We've been called the enemy of the people by a man who may run our country next year, a man who has already banned reporters from covering public events, and has suggested doing much worse. The future of journalism can sometimes look a little bleak. And to be honest, it kind of looked bleak for a while. When I was an intern in DC, I heard over and over again, our bureau used to have 12 reporters and now we only have 1. And they were the lucky ones because so many just don't exist anymore at all. And I saw firsthand the struggles that local newspapers face with shrunken staff and tight budgets. At the time, it left me feeling a little hopeless. I truly believed in the power of journalism, but short of giving my absolute best at work, I felt like there was little I could do for the profession that I loved. A few months after I came to DC in 2025, my friend, Derek Walbank, asked me why I hadn't joined the club yet. I gave him some excuse about finances, money was tight, I knew the club was a deal, yada, yada, yada. And I'll never forget what his response was. He said, with all the uncertainty and all the difficulties that our industry is dealing with, there has never been a more important time to support quality journalism and the people who deliver it. He said that if I wanted to help the profession that I loved, the best way to do it was to join the press club and the 3,000 reporters, editors, producers, and communicators that are fighting for the future of the press. That was absolutely true then in 2015, and it is even more true now in 2024. No, I'm not naive enough to think that the club can solve all the problems, but I know for a fact that we can win some battles if we're willing to fight. I saw the willingness of reporters to come together and help each other last Friday when we opened up our weekly taco night to laid-off reporters, offering them free food, free drinks, resources, and of course, camaraderie. I had a lot of laid-off reporters come up to me during that event to thank me. But what really stuck with me was that for every laid-off reporter, there were about 2 employed reporters who came up to me to thank me for having that event, saying they were grateful to have a chance to do something. Hundreds promoted the event on social media. Dozens came that night to buy drinks and offer support. Recruiters came with potential job offers. It might have been a really dark and sad week, but it was so empowering to see how we all came together. And I see that same eagerness, that same drive when it comes to the club's press freedom efforts and our work for the safe return of detained American journalists, because journalism is not a crime. In the past year, we've held numerous events for Evan Gershkovich, including a 24-hour readathon where reporters showed up at 3 in the morning, so the words that led to Evan's jailing could not be silenced. We are also pushing for the release of Alsu Kumasheva. Like Evan, Alsu is an American reporter who was detained in Russia. Like Evan, Alsu did nothing wrong. Unlike Evan, the State Department has yet to classify her as wrongfully detained, despite the fact that journalism is not a crime. To the State Department, the world is waiting on you. You have the power to help an American citizen, a wife, a mother of 2 who, again, did nothing wrong by making a simple statement. Alsu must be declared wrongfully detained, and that needs to happen now. The club is also fighting to bring home Austin Tice, a Marine and an award-winning reporter who has been held captive in Syria. The club has done dozen events, from 5K runs to nights out at restaurants, to raise awareness about Austin and to pressure our government to act. But I want to take a minute here, and I just want to be really honest for a second, because when I speak with people about Austin, this gut-wrenching thing happens. So when people first learn about Austin, they immediately realize that this is wrong, that journalism is not a crime, and they want to help, they want to fight. And then they do the logical next thing, which is to ask, how long has Austin been detained for? And if you didn't see it in the clock in the lobby, Austin has been held captive now for more than 11 years. And when I tell people that, I can see the look in their eyes change. I can see it go from something that they want to fight for, that they're eager to help with, to a sense of hopelessness. And what I want to say then is that, look, I get it. 11 years is a long time. We've been fighting this fight for so long and so hard, and right now there isn't a perfectly clear end in sight. But I also want to say that this is the hardest time to keep fighting and the most important time to keep fighting. Because if we give up now, those who seek to silence the truth win. Austin's case might be heartbreaking, but it is not hopeless so long as we stay in the fight. Austin's mom, Deborah Tice, is here with us tonight. Deborah, I can't imagine the pain that you wake up with every day. I can't imagine the bravery it takes to continually tell your story and your son's story. And I really cannot imagine trying to deal with the complex policies and red tape and bureaucracy that I know you have faced. Deborah, can you please stand for a minute and receive our applause for leading the fight? Deborah, know that the entirety of the press club is with you, that we will fight alongside of you for as long as it takes. So please, take that Austin Tice pin that's on your table tonight. Take it out of the plastic, put it on. Wear it whenever you can. Talk to people about Austin. Tweet about Austin. Be a part of our events that raise awareness. And for the reporters in the room, ask our elected officials about what they are doing to bring Austin home. Ask follow-up questions, ask for specifics. Official lines like, "We are doing all we can," are not enough after 11 years. And to President Biden, thank you for that really lovely letter tonight. But I need more than a scrap of paper here. I know it's an election year, but some things are bigger than politics. And on behalf of the press club, I call on you to bring all 3 detained American reporters home this year. 11 years is too long, 300 days is too long, 100 days is too long. Journalism is not a crime. The club is also working on supporting reporters who have been exiled from their home countries, whose work has led them to being harassed and jailed and threatened with death, but who have not given up on reporting the truth. I want to tell you about one of these amazing reporters. Mohammed Mosaid is an Iranian reporter who exposed financial corruption in the government. In 2019, he tweeted about an internet shutdown in Iran. For those tweets, Iranian authorities broke into his home in the middle of the night, put a gun to his head, and threw him in solitary confinement for 2 weeks. Other people might have been deterred from reporting after that. Not Mo. He covered Iran's response, or rather lack of response, in keeping its citizens safe during the COVID-19 outbreak. He continued to uncover corruption in the government. And for his reporting, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison. So he decided to leave Iran, nearly dying while crossing a mountain range in Turkey. And through the help of Jason and Yegi Rezaian, he made it to the US. He was safe, but he didn't have anything, not even legal papers. And that's where the National Press Club came in. Our former executive director, Bill McCarran, who is leading our press freedom efforts with an unmatched passion, hired Mo part-time as the club as a cybersecurity expert. Then, DDA hired him full-time. The club is currently helping Mo get his master's in cybersecurity. Mo told me he credits the club with saving his life, that the club gave him a chance when no one else would. Mo is with us tonight, and Mo, you are so inspiring. We are so happy to have you as part of our press club family. Will you please stand a moment while we recognize you? Also with us tonight is Emilio Gutierrez Soto. Emilio is a Mexican journalist who reported on military corruption. For this, he was harassed and received death threats. He fled to the US in 2008, seeking asylum with his then 15-year-old son, Oscar. What seemed like a cut and dry case for him to remain in the US because he was going to get killed if they sent him back to Mexico somehow dragged on for years. In 2017, the club gave Emilio our highest award for press freedom, the John Aubuchon Award. And a few months later, during what was supposed to be a pretty routine check with immigration officials, Emilio was detained. And that's when the National Press Club and the National Press Club Journalism Institute, our nonprofit arm, really stepped into the fight. We had multiple press conferences calling for Emilio's release. Bill made multiple trips to El Paso to bring attention to the case and directly confronted ICE officials about why Emilio was being held. The Journalism Institute led a FOIA campaign and then a legal fight to get internal Department of Homeland Security documents on Emilio's case that could be used to help him win asylum. And when Emilio's asylum claim was denied, because the judge somehow did not believe that a man with hundreds of articles was a journalist, the club and the Institute worked together with dozens of other organizations to appeal the ruling and to keep fighting. This past September, a 3-judge appeals panel recognized Emilio's brave work, the threat to his life, and finally, after 15 years, granted Emilio asylum. Emilio and his son Oscar are here with us tonight. Emilio, thank you for everything you've done and for your fight. Will you please stand for a minute and be recognized? When I talk about the press club fighting, this is why we fight. We fight because we can win. I know there are many battles ahead this year, both abroad and at home, but I feel more confident because I know all 3,000 members of the club are ready for this fight, and I hope each and every one of you will join us. Thank you again so much for tonight, and thank you for everyone for being a part of the National Press Club.
I'm not letting her go. As a member of the National Press Club, Emily, I am thrilled to have you as my president. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'd like to take one more opportunity to thank all of our wonderful sponsors, CNBC, Bloomberg, General Dynamics, Duplain Enterprises, Taiwan's representative office in Washington, D.C., Wounded Paws Project, Sightline Media, yeah, give them all the love, Sightline Media Group, Global Situation Room, L3 Harris, Mark Global Communications, Michigan State University, Responsibility.org, Robert Wiener Associates, and Eileen and Carrie O'Reilly. I'd like to leave you with one last fun fact about Emily Wilkins. And just a shout out to Bill McCarran over here, who has just done the most amazing work on behalf of the club. He was executive director when I was on the board and just such a shining light for press freedom. So thank you, Bill, for all you do. Really. So I am going to leave you with one last fun fact about Emily Wilkins. Okay. She, in addition to everything else that she does, keeps an updated ranking of the best Detroit-style pizza joints in Washington, D.C. Now, even though she claims that Red Light on 14th is currently the reigning champ, the National Press Club is going to do its best to, at least get in the running. And we're going to do that tonight with some Detroit-style pizza in the after party. Party, Emily. So please head over to the Holman Lounge for some pizza, some cocktails, and some music by the Greater U Street Jazz Collective. Thank you, everyone, so much for your time tonight, and congratulations, Emily. We love you so much.